Hey guys, so let me ask you, have you ever gotten a demotion at work? Because if you do, then let me tell you how I am feeling right about now. Now, let me clarify, I didn't get a demotion, I demoted myself. I had to take the power back into my hands. So let me tell you what happened, friend. We're gonna have a little key real quick. So for a year and a half, I've been in my leadership role at my job. I've been there for 2 years. So from the year and a half that I've been there, I've been in management. Now, it's a smaller warehouse that I work in. So we are, how do I want to phrase this? We're still getting things together, right? So yes, by definition on paper, title-wise, I am a lead, but I am talking to supervisor, I'm talking to clients, I am reaching out to clients, I am developing a team, I'm doing a whole lot of things of like a supervisor role, honey. So there are times where I'm like, oh yes, I am a lead, but I was like, I do a lot of supervisor things. The only things that I don't do as like supervisor is just like payroll, attendance. That's about it. I did billing, I did reports, I did everything else other than those like 2 things. But anyway, back to the story. So I was doing my leadership role for about like a year and a half, and now we got this new OP. And for any of you who don't know what an OP is, it's just, I keep saying OP, OM, which is our operational manager. And now an operational manager is just someone who makes sure that the business itself is going like through its proper operations for the business to make money. So think of like you have a lead, supervisor, building manager, and then at the very top before you get to like the C-suites is your operations manager, your OM. So we got a new operations manager, right? And I'm guessing he like worked his way like trying to pinpoint like things in the building, in the business that, you know, needed some extra attention. He finally got to my department, which is the returns department, honey. And I'm so glad. My returns department is very small. I have 4 associates that work under me. Up until recently, I was like, we have gotten all of our work done. Oh my goodness, it was great. I got like half the building's work done within like 2 weeks, honey. Like, if there's not one thing, I was like, I usually do not boast about myself, but I will boast. To me, yes, I did that. I did my job. But yeah, so as his job title pertains, he's like, you know, trying to make the building more efficient, trying to get operations more efficient. I, however, just do not appreciate the way that he goes about trying to get these operations together. So let's take it back to last week. He pulls me aside and he's like telling me like something about sports. Honey, the analogy was so weird. I really wanted to tell that man. I was like, I am a gay man. I don't know nothing about sports. And he kept like trying to go with this analogy of sports. He was like, in every sports team, in every sports, like there is a coach, and the coach has to find like an MVP. And he was like, you as a lead or a supervisor, he was like, you have to develop your team. You have to find your MVPs. You have to find the people who do the best things in what they're, you know, in what roles they are best at, and keep them there. So he was like, I'm tasking you to like find your MVPs, develop your team, like get your team going so that you can get the workout. So I was like, oh, okay, simple. I was like, girl, I got this. Once again, I've already been doing it for a year and a half without him. Right? And we've already been doing good. My managers haven't had no complaints about my work. Like, we're doing fine. Our clients love us, giving us great reviews. We are doing great. We are cleaning up the building. We are not getting any more complaints back. Like, our customers on our client ends are happy. Like, the returns are doing good. So the next day, he comes in and he pulls me to the side. And then it was just like all of hell broke loose. I don't know what happened. He was like, Y'all been working for 4 hours. They only got 88 things done. And I'm trying to explain to him a little backstory. They had fired my entire team previously. Of the 4 people that I mentioned, gone. 1 got pregnant and had to leave early. The other 3 got fired. So it's just me in the department. Then on top of that, after they got fired, my department hours got cut. So Mondays and Tuesdays, we are not operational. So Mondays and Tuesdays, there's still work coming into the building. So from Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, work is not getting done. The work is just sitting there. So from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, for 8 hours, which is 24 for those 3 days, that's when we can work. But now we have an entirely new group of people who do not know what they're doing because they now need to be trained. So I get pulled to the side and he's like, oh, y'all only did 88 in 4 hours. He's like, that's unacceptable. We had this conversation yesterday. And as I'm trying to explain to him about how the recent cuts to the department are affecting the work not getting out, he starts getting louder. He starts yelling at me. He starts to interrupt me. And then he starts putting his hands up to stop me from talking. Now, friends, I want to tell you all something. This is a little side note. I've made boundaries with myself, right? And one of those boundaries is that I will not tolerate people who do not know how to talk to me. I will give you the respect and the time of day to say what you need to say, but I fully expect for it to be in returned. And if it's not in return, my boundary is to take the conversation, put it down, and walk away. It is not worth my energy. It is not worth my time. It is not worth my sanity. It is not worth my health to go back and forth with anybody. Anyone. We are not going back and forth, especially when we are at work. That is a time and a place. So for my OM, the person who's supposed to be providing me feedback with his experience to say, hey, Sean, maybe you misunderstood where I was coming from the other day. This is where I want you to improve. How do you think that you should improve? Like, to actually problem solve, but instead to yell at me, to interrupt me, to throw his hands up, to make a spectacle in the building since it's an open floor plan. So we don't have offices. So he's yelling at me in front of all the coworkers, in front of all the other management. I literally had associates come up to me throughout the day and say, ooh, Sean, that was crazy. I heard the whole thing. Unprofessional. Unprofessional. But that's just one of my boundaries. So whether I'm at work or whether I'm in my personal life, I made that boundary. And I was like, friends, if you are out there, this is one thing I do want to tell you. Make your boundaries and stick to them. Whether it's at work or whether it's at home. All right? Know what you want out of life. Know where you are going and just stick to that. No job should ever make you feel like your blood pressure should be raising through the roof. If you feel yourself about to have a stroke out, girl, just say, I'm putting the conversation down. I'm taking a step back. I need 5 minutes to breathe. This conversation is going into a place where I did not think it was going to go. Take a step back. Respect your boundaries. All right, back to the story. So anyway, the conversation was getting more and more heated. He was just like, well, I expect all X amount of orders to be done, and I don't know why it's not done. And we talked about this. Mind you, this is the second time he's raised his voice at me, and like we've had this like back and forth kind of conversation of us just like progressively yelling at each other. So we get to the point, and really what like set me off was he tried to do like what I'm gonna call like a fear tactic, friend, where he was just like, well, if you're not capable of doing a job, or I'm paraphrasing here, but he was like, well, if you're not gonna do the job, or if you don't think that you can do the job, etc., 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 or ellipses, ... And I was like, what are you implying? What are you implying? So then I was just like, I know that we have not personally talked about this, me and the OM, but I was like, I have been talking to the other managers, and I was like, I would like a demotion. And he was like, oh, and I was like, yeah. I was like, for whatever reason it is, I said, we are not eye to eye. And I was like, I don't want to come to work, and like, I don't want to feel like this. So I was like, I would like to go back to my associate position. And so that's where I'm at now. And he was like, oh yeah, that's he was like, the OM was like, oh yeah, I think that's fair. Of course, we thought that was fair. My other fucking managers are just sitting there, just literally falling apart. Mind you, oh my gosh, mind you, my general manager, my GM, just the week prior, or like the week and a half prior, offered me a whole new position, a salary position. He was just like, I think that you are, out of everyone here, he was like, I think that you are the best worker. He's like, I've worked with you personally. He was like, I know that you can pick up things quickly. He was like, you ask questions when you get confused. He was like, I can trust you. You work independent. He's like, I think that you are the best candidate for this role. He's like, it comes with more responsibilities. So before you get your pay raise, you would need to do the position for 3 months to see if it fits. But he was like, I would like to offer it to you first. And I denied it. Which also sucks, friends, because I've worked in warehousing for 11 and a half years, almost 12 now. And in every building I get there, and they like, we love you, Sean. It was like, you do a great job. We enjoy having you, you know, so on and so forth. But they never offer me a raise. They never offered me a higher position. This was the first building, the first company that actually said those words and then backed it up with action. Right? I love my job. I love my position. But I had to put it down. I was like, as you already know, friends, I was like, when I get out of work, I'm already dealing with so much. If you are new to the channel, or if you've been like following me, hey guys, but I was like, girl, I'm homeless currently. And I was just like, not only am I homeless, I was like, I'm trying to get myself out of debt. I was like, I'm trying to learn so many different things. I'm trying to follow my passions. I was like, I'm singing. I'm trying to make content. I was like, I'm studying for my digital marketing. I'm doing so much outside. I'm developing a life. Really, what it is. I'm developing a life outside of work. I was like, I cannot take extra responsibility at work right now. I was like, there's too much going on outside of work. Also, that's another thing. I think I made a video on this before. I'm pretty sure I did. But it's very important to have a work-life balance. And you have to understand how much of each you want in your life. Right? And where you're going at in your life. That's really going to determine like how much of what you put into it. And I was like, right now, I was like, I don't have enough. I don't really have a life. I'm just gonna be honest with you, friends. I was like, I don't have a life. I don't have too many friends. I have one good friend. I was like, I've stopped talking to family, so I really can't count on family that's in the area. I have my foster family, but they in a whole different state. So I was like, it's really just me. And I was like, I'm just tired of not living a life. I was like, I want to wake up and be like, ooh, yeah, I got this going on. Oh, yeah, I got that going on. You know, a little half flip. Like, I love the fact that now I'm taking singing classes. And I was like, I have something to do when I get out of work. I love talking to you guys. I love making content. I love sharing my stories. I love sharing the things that I've learned. I love learning new things. I was like, I like the fact that I am developing a life outside of work, which makes demotions so much easier. Because I know that work is just supposed to be a catalyst for me to develop my life outside of work. It's not supposed to be all in one. At least for me. I will always encourage people to find what it is that you want. And that's not an easy thing to do. It's a lot easier said than done. I'm still doing it myself. Like every other day, I'm like writing down new things. I'm writing down more descriptions of things too, like writing down a plan really. But the plan is very specific. Like by the summer of 2026, I want to be doing this. By the end of 2026, I want to be here. By this date, this needs to happen. By that date, that needs to happen. So I'm doing this to get here. Like everything has to be just a little bit more specific. But that comes with time. It really does come with time. But to like, honey, wrap this story up. Yes, I had to get a demotion at work. A part of me is salty, and then a part of me is also really relieved. It's bittersweet, but we are gonna make it through it, like all things in life, honey. But let me know, have any of y'all got a demotion? How have you handled it? Like, did you throw a fit? Because if you threw a fit, I'm gonna be right there with you, girl. And I'm like, Throw that fit. Throw a chair. Throw a couple staplers, honey. Throw a couple papers around. Stop real loud and slam that door. Let them know. Not me telling you how to tear off the office. Don't tear off the office, guys. Do not tear off the office. But let me know if any of y'all had a demotion. How did that work? How did you get through it? Honestly, I would love to know. Shoot, help your friend out. How do you get through a demotion? How do you move on? How do you make that money up again? Right? Because with the demotion comes a pay cut. So how did you come out of it on the other side? I would love to know. But until next time, friends, you got this. I got this. We got this. Bye, guys.